Another big risk factor. And roid rage? Steroids can increase aggression, but that only happens in about 5% of the population. And even then, they can't make you psychotic. And as for the long-term side effects, we don't know. No one's ever done those studies.
At what point do we say that a behavior is such that people just shouldn't be allowed to engage in it? I mean, we do allow people to do lots of things that can hurt themselves.
America's new junkies, plastic surgery addicts.
I've had, like, my eyes done, rhinoplasty, chin, cleft, pectoral implants, bicep implants, buttock augmentation, and those are the ones I can remember right offhand.
Common sense tells you this is dangerous and foolish. You wouldn't risk your neck in a trick like this. Common sense tells us that being shot out of a cannon is dangerous business. Handling dynamite, this too looks dangerous.
Whether it's bungee jumping or skydiving or black diamond skiing, all of them are fun to do, but would subject one to tremendous risks with no real necessity. So if we allow all of those other risks, why is it that we're taking this position with respect to anabolic steroids?
And it's a fair start. And it is Raymond Durr with his
1988, Seoul, Korea. A Canadian sprinter, Ben Johnson, defeated his arch rival, Carl Lewis, in the 100-meter sprint to become the fastest man in history.
It sure got our spirit up. Just great. Hey, Benny!
But 24 hours later, he tested positive for steroids, and they gave the gold medal to our guy, Carl Lewis.
There was a international uproar over the idea that this Canadian sprinter had gotten an advantage based on his use of an anabolic steroid for its performance effect. And Congress responded by holding some hearings.
Ben Johnson would not have been in the finals. He probably would not have been on the Olympic team had he not taken steroids.
Congress wanted to pass a law that would control steroids the same way as drugs like cocaine and heroin. And they called experts from the DEA, the FDA, and the American Medical Association. But they all testified that steroids should not be treated like illicit drugs. So Congress disregarded their experts, and in 1990, they passed the Anabolic Steroid Control Act, turning non-medical users into federal drug criminals.
This wasn't so much about health effects. It was really on what these things do that's good, in the sense that they build muscle. They improve the way that people can perform. And that, in a sports context, was seen as the ultimate evil. If we took a pie chart of steroid use and we looked at what percentage of that pie is comprised of athletes, they would be a very, very, very small slice of that pie. The overwhelming majority of the pie is comprised of the recreational gym rat who's doing it purely for cosmetic reasons. The irony is that we've addressed a sports cheating issue by creating a law that affects all the folks who aren't cheating in sports.
One look at Gregory Valentino's arms, and you know something's going on. The 40-year-old is charged with criminal possession of anabolic steroids with intent to sell.
Some people may call Greg Valentino a freak and a felon. I call him a neighbor. He lives down the block from my grandma. He also happens to have the biggest biceps in the world.
Holy crap. Do you have difficulty with just sort of the regular things in life, like making a sandwich?
No. I can hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Anybody want to challenge me? Let's do it. I'll show you. Watch this. Oh! Come on, Greg. Oh! Told you I'm no Barry Bonds. I'm a red meat man. I eat a lot of red meat.
Why do you think people in America are so uptight about steroids and steroid users?
Because they fear. They fear what they don't know. You know? That's ugly. Who the hell would want to look like that? You know what I mean? I don't want to look like that.
Why'd you want to look like that, then?
I mean, I like being big. I had small man complex, you know? And I'd be like, I don't want to be little, you know? I wanted to be taller, so I couldn't grow taller. So I grew wider.
Personally, like, I think in the picture that you showed me,
I look better.
Your arms look a lot better there than they look now, right? I mean,
without a doubt.
Agree?
Without a doubt. I would rather look like that. Do you think girls look at me and go, oh, my God, that's hot? They're like, that's f***ing gross. I walk into a club, and the hottest girl could be there with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend will see me and mush her in the face to get over to me just to say to me, like, dude, what the f***? That's
You're getting attention from the guys, not from the girl.
Oh, I don't give a shit. It's attention. You know what I mean? I can't explain it to you. It's like a mindset. Does that make sense or no? But I'll tell you what, when I'm done, my biceps are humongous. Humongous. Like that, bam!
For myself, I'm kind of on the fence. I have two brothers, they're both taking steroids right as we speak right now. I don't know if I want people to think I'm not cheating or to look at me and say, wow, you know, like, you really have a great build. You know, but do you think I should take steroids to get there?
I think steroids are as American as apple pie. We live in a society today that you got MTV and reality shows. Madonna's making out with Britney Spears, rap music and all that shit, and you're worried about steroids? Kids are like, F you, cop. F you, man. Playing video games like Grand Theft Auto where you're killing cops. That's worse influence, in my opinion, than steroids will ever be. Than Barry Bonds hitting home runs. There's a big difference between a kid taking steroids, who's only had hair on his dick a couple years, as opposed to a grown man who's looking to perform better, at a better level in sports. And where is Schwarzenegger in all this? I mean, he is the poster boy for steroids. He's the poster boy for, hey, look at me, look what I did. I came, I conquered, I kicked ass. That autobiography says he was doing it when he was 15, 16. Hey, he won the Mr. Universe at 19 years old. 19. Did you ever see what he looked like when he was 19? Do you think it was God-given genetics, or do you think that maybe he took the performance enhancers? A lot of people idolize these guys, whether it's a rock star, bodybuilder, movie star, whoever. And all of a sudden you get to meet them. And man, is it a letdown. Because they're never, ever what they appear to be. The guy you see in public like this has got the middle finger under the table going like this. It's never what you see is what you get. It's what you see is what they want you to see. Everybody idolized Schwarzenegger growing up. Everybody thought, man, I want to lift weights and live a pure life like Arnold, and I'm going to eat all my vegetables and take my protein shakes. Maybe I'll move out to California, train at Gold's Gym, and I'm going to get really big. I'm going to win contests. I'm going to be a movie star, too.
Please welcome a man whose story embodies the American dream.
One thing I learned about America is that if you work hard and if you play by the rules, this country is truly open to you. You can achieve anything.
Dude. That is a pipe dream. That is a pipe dream, okay? To get where Arnold got in life, you have to be willing to step on a few fingers and step on a few friends and fuck a few people over. You don't get to that level without that. In this world, you're either the Barracuda or you're that little minnow swimming around like this. And Arnold's the Barracuda.
And we all exercise a little bit together with the dumbbells. Come on now, let's do some presses here.
In the same year that George Bush Sr. signed the Steroid Control Act, he also made Arnold Schwarzenegger the chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness. So I'm confused. Was the president saying that a former steroid user could still be a role model for kids?
You gonna exercise? Yeah! You gotta pump up muscle!
Enter Steve Rogers, too puny to be accepted by the Army, but willing to risk death for his country.
He's changing right before our eyes.
Suddenly it is over, and America has a new champion.
Why do you think in America superheroes are so important?
People need heroes, whether in real life or in fiction, because they need somebody to inspire them, something to aim for, somebody to try to be like. I think any boy would want to be built like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Did you ever want to be big and muscular like that?
I wanted to be a little, when I'd go to the beach, I used to wish that my arms were a little stronger, you know. I looked more like the 98-pound weakling.
Did that ever inspire you, that Charles Atlas comic strip? Did that inspire some of your characters?
It inspired everybody.
Let me teach you how to become strong.
When you're young, you get impressions that pretty much last you all your life.